Hello and welcome back to Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian football. In case you missed it, American coach Randy Waldrum has resigned from his role as the head coach of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Unfortunately, this news comes in bad circumstances as he cited the health of his wife as the major factor and the major reason for his resignation. His wife has been struggling with her health for quite some time now. I've been aware of this, but it wasn't something that was made known to the public. And even during the Olympic Games, where he took the team to Paris, he had to leave his wife in her ailing condition to be able to take part and take charge of the team. So I'll just start by saying we wish his wife all the best. I hope that she recovers. I hope that she recovers quick. I hope that it is nothing too serious because I don't know the exact details of what is wrong with her. So just sending love, sending energy, sending healing powers to the wife of Coach Randy Waldrum. But for today's video, we're going to be diving into his tenure, the impact that Randy Waldrum had during his time as the head coach of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Of course, Nigeria's iconic women's football national team. We'll talk about his coaching style, we'll talk about the team's performance under his leadership, and then we'll also explore how he has shaped the future of Nigerian football. Let's get into it. So the first thing was, who is Randy Waldrum? Who is Randy Waldrum? Randy Waldrum is a 67-year-old American. He's an experienced coach with a rich history in women's football. He was also a former footballer in his day, but he didn't really rise to any real levels for us to talk about it. But he took over the Super Falcons in 2020, and he came into the job with a background in both collegiate level coaching in the United States and also with experience in the NWSL as the former head coach of Houston Dash, as well as being the former head coach of Trinidad and Tobago's women's national team. So he came into the team with quite a wealth of experience and knowledge. Now let's talk about his coaching style. Randy Waldrum, of course, with the Super Falcons, has shown largely to favor a more compact, more solid style of coaching. Of course, he likes his team to be organized and then try to build forward from that. He emphasizes teamwork, discipline, and a strong tactical approach, trying to adapt to what the opponents are going to be bringing on the field and setting his team up for the most success possible. He also has a knack or an inkling for developing player skills and developing young players while fostering a positive team environment. His commitment to building a cohesive unit has been evident in the Super Falcons' improved performances on the pitch. We'll get into that in just a second. Now, what impact did Randy Waldrum actually have on the team's performance? Under Waldrum's leadership, the Super Falcons have seen significant improvements in the results on the field. Yes, I know everybody will point to the WAFCON in 2022 and say, oh, but he didn't win. I agree, he didn't win. It was a disappointing tournament for us. Despite the circumstances, in the semi-final against Morocco, going 2 players down and losing on penalties in a tough match, a lot of people knocked him for it, despite the fact that we got to penalties with a huge disadvantage. Like I said, 2 red cards for 2 key players, Rashid Ajibade and Halimatu Angude. And of course, missing those 2 players in the 3rd place match against Zambia, we unfortunately finished 4th in that tournament. I can still be objective and say it was a disappointing result despite the circumstances. And when that happened, he came under a lot of criticism from Nigerian fans and media alike. There are a lot of reasons why people in the Nigerian media do not like him, but I wouldn't get into that too much today. And then results definitely improved and performance at this tournament improved when you look at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, where Nigeria got to the round of 16 and unfortunately lost narrowly on penalties against eventual finalist England. That tournament was the first and only time in Nigeria's World Cup history that we finished the group stage unbeaten. We conceded only 2 goals during our run in the tournament, which is still the lowest number of goals that Nigeria has conceded in any FIFA Women's World Cup finals. You have to give him credit for that. Another thing that we will say is that he led the team to the Olympic Games for the first time in 16 years. For a long time, the Super Falcons had not been able to qualify, but Randy Waldrum's guidance led the team to this tournament. Eventually, in the tournament, we were ranked against 3 of the top 10 teams in the world, and we fell to defeats in the games. Overall, not the result that we wanted, but Randy Waldrum was able to show that his side can compete. Good performance against Spain, good performance against Brazil, and then being well beaten in the third game by Japan. One thing that he did do is that his performances with the team reignited the hopes and the belief in Nigerian fans and even in Nigerian media. Years ago, before Randy Waldrum's tenure, Nigeria doesn't go into a game against Spain, lose 1-0, and then people come out talking about how we should have won, we should have scored, we should have taken our chances. We would ordinarily go into a game like that expecting to get well beaten and eventually getting well beaten. Same with the game against Brazil. So the fact that our expectations for the national team against these tougher sides in the world has risen is a testament to the work that he did on the team and the results that they were getting and the performances that they were putting out on the field. Another thing that we will see, under Randy Waldrum's leadership, the Super Falcons were able to go for the first time 6 games unbeaten against non-African opposition. It doesn't sound like a big deal to some, but when you think about the fact that it had never happened before, that we would go 6 games unbeaten against non-African opposition, it is something that you have to give him credit for. And those 6 games included games against Australia, against Ireland, against Canada. So you cannot just say, oh, he was playing low-level foreign or non-African opposition. For these, I give Randy Waldrum credit, and I say that he definitely had a positive impact on team performance. I've also spoken to several Super Falcons players, and they've told me firsthand what he has been able to do for the team and how he has been able to move the team forward. You can go check out my previous interviews to hear from players like Christy Uchebe, Chiamaka Nadozie, Nico Payne, Esther Okonkwo, and many more. That's just a slight plug. Now, in terms of player growth, player development, and bringing in players into the national team, Randy Waldrum has definitely helped in this regard. That is by far one of his key contributions to the team. The inclusion of skilled foreign-born players to the national team. Players like Michelle Alozie, players like Esther Okonkwo, players like Jennifer Onyinye Echegini, who are now key important players for the Super Falcons, were spotted by Randy Waldrum. And you can probably say that without him being in the team, there's a good chance that neither or most of these foreign-born players that are now helping the team will likely not have been involved. So we have to give him credit for that as well. Another thing that I'll give him credit for is his role that he played in bringing up some of these young talents. I know some people feel like, oh, we need more youth players in the team, things like that. But at the same time, I respect the fact that he has been more focused on bringing in players that are really able to contribute towards the team. Players like Oluwatosin Dimeni, or a player that looks to be a world beater in the future in Deborah Abiodun. He also helped her to secure a scholarship in Pittsburgh University in the United States so she can help her family, so she can continue to develop, and so she can become the best football player possible. This is the impact that Randy Waldrum has been able to make during his time as the head coach of the Super Falcons. We've also seen some homegrown players like Rachel Ajibade, like Christy Uchebe flourish and grow to become key players for the national team under his tutelage and under his leadership. And for this, I'll give Randy Waldrum credit. I believe that this has helped to lay the foundation for the future of Nigerian women's football. Now, if we think about culture and team spirit, beyond tactics, beyond training, Randy Waldrum has worked hard to instill a strong team culture, emphasizing unity, camaraderie, and this has helped to translate to better on-field chemistry. The Super Falcons play with a renewed sense of purpose, a renewed sense of pride, representing the national team with passion and determination. Randy Waldrum has always shown to be on the side of the players, helping them to fight for their rights, fight for what they deserve, and to ensure that the NFF treats them with the utmost sense of responsibility and professionalism, whether it be fighting for them behind the scenes or straight up calling out the NFF in interviews that he's done, especially like the popular one before the Women's World Cup. Randy Waldrum has shown that he's on the side of the players. He wants them to be treated like the stars that they are supposed to be and that they are. And this is something that has helped the players to play hard for him and to give their best for him, which has in turn translated into some of the good results and good performances that we've seen on the pitch. Now, challenges. Of course, every coach, especially every Nigerian coach, faces challenges. Waldrum has had to navigate the pressures of the NFF, the pressures of the media, the expectation of fans, as well as straight up just being in some very tough groups in international competitions like the World Cup and like the Olympic Games. However, he has persevered and he has pushed through. He has taken on these challenges head on, and he has been able to create some positive memories, some positive performances, positive results, and like I said earlier, lay the foundation for the future of the Super Falcons. Looking ahead, the future seems bright. When I spoke to a lot of the Super Falcons players, they were excited for the future under Randy Waldrum, of what the team can do, of how far the team can go, of how much better the team can get. Now, whoever the new head coach is going to be, I really do hope that we don't take steps backward, because there is a very good chance that the NFF hires somebody who can be under their control, who will never call them out, who will dance to their tune, and this might take the team back. We know how there's always this home-based versus foreign-based debate that happens in Nigerian football. I don't want a coach that now starts to select home-based players that are not deserving just because they feel like they want to help to promote a player, to take the player abroad. Things like that, I hope, don't happen under the new head coach, because Randy Waldrum has laid a good foundation for the team's success. Any coach that is coming in after him should be able to build upon what he has done already, rather than trying to scatter and rebuild the whole thing and then take us 4 or 5 steps back. And again, in conclusion, despite the positive things that Randy Waldrum did as head coach, despite the records that he sets, like the first Olympic Games in 16 years, like the first World Cup tournament without a defeat in the group stage, there, of course, has still been a lot of criticism from Nigerian fans, from Nigerian media. Despite the unfortunate circumstances that have led to his resignation now, I've still seen some comments of people celebrating the fact that he's no longer the head coach. Again, I understand it is very, very difficult to please Nigerian fans, to please the Nigerian media, to please the Nigerian people. I completely understand. So I am not surprised that he has taken his criticism. And some of these people that criticize him, their agenda, like I said earlier, is simply because, they want a Nigerian-born coach. They want a local coach. Some people just have this agenda that, it must be local versus foreign. I don't want to get into that, but it's something that irks me so much. Nevertheless, I think and I believe that Randy Waldrum's impact as the head coach of the Super Falcons of Nigeria has been profound. His philosophy, his organization, his development of players, his inclusion of skilled foreign-born players, and always being behind the player has contributed to the resurgence of this team that we know is, was, and can be a great team. As they continue to grow and evolve, I cannot wait to see what the future holds for the Super Falcons. I say thank you, Randy Waldrum, and best of luck for the future. Now, that's pretty much what I had. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and of course, subscribe to Eagles Tracker to enjoy more Nigerian football content and more content on the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Randy Waldrum's time as head coach. And of course, let me know what you think about the potential future of the Super Falcons. Bye-bye.